Welcome back to Society Games Files. My name is Robert, and today I wanted to kind of go into a deeper dive into these boxes here. We've got the Underworld boxes. I kind of did a brief discussion of them. I haven't even opened all of these yet. There's a lot of stuff here that is just absolutely amazing, and I thought it would be fun to talk about who's in them and why I bought them in particular. So I want to start with the Death Morbid Minions pack. This one is very exciting for me, and the number one reason that I got into it was the Night Haunt characters up here. The Briar Queen in particular is such a freaking cool model that I was very excited that they finally re-released it. I did see quite a while back that they were planning on doing so, effectively bringing all of the existing war bands up to a state that they had rules, cards, and new models for those of us who didn't get them the first time and didn't necessarily want to go to the gray market to get them. One of the interesting things that I have heard about Underworlds, and you are more than encouraged to correct me if I'm wrong here, but I was watching a video and they said that because of the fact that they use colored sprues, that if you decide to take these to tournaments of this game, you are not expected to necessarily paint them. That's interesting to me. I had no idea. And that even makes this a more suitable choice for a brand newcomer to try, because you have so few units that you have to worry about that you can just jump right in. The game comes with the sort of war scroll here, and you get all of the character cards necessary for each of the factions. So these are the up-to-date, brand new for Ember Guard, and now the new one, Spitewood. And so you can play all of these. So the cool thing is, if you already have your chosen war bands and you don't want to buy these, no big deal. You can buy the cards separately. At least that's how it worked with the first full set of them. And that was pretty cool because I have all of those as well. So this is the instructions on how to build the different ones. And they're pretty darn simple because this is not meant to be totally crazy. They're generally like 2, maybe 3 pages at the most to do all of them, and they're very simple. Interesting point, of course, here we're looking at the Night Haunts. This is a pretty big war band. I mean, you've got 7 characters in this war band. My war band that's on the table right now, which you can't see, but it's the Ember Guard starting Stormcast Eternals, and there's only 3 models in there for you to have to worry about. On the table back there, I'm working on the Knives of the Crone, which are basically Daughters of Cain, and those have only 4 models. So oftentimes you're looking at a very small unit, but it can get as high as 7 or 8. So anyway, that's why I got the Morbid Minions, was for the Night Haunts, but they have a lot of other cool ones too. You've got the Bone Reapers are in here. You've got some of the Exiled Dead. They're basically a necromancer's army of undead zombies and stuff that he's sort of Frankensteined. And then you've got some characters that are pretty much Flesh Eater Court. So all around, if you're into the undead aspect of Age of Sigmar, then they've got you covered there. The next one I've got here is the Reavers of Ruin. It's the Chaos War bands. And in this set, we have the Skittershank Claw Pack. This is a war band of Skaven. And you get 5 models for them. They're awesome. Like, one is leaping off of a smoky cloud, one's standing on some nasty pipe, one's got a net and he's leaping off a wall, and the other 2 look a little bit like clan rats. So if you're into the rats, they've got you covered there. You've got some barbarian looking characters. They're pretty much look like the Slaves to Darkness characters. We've got some more demons. I think that these demons are Slanesh, but they could be Zenich. I have not looked. The Thricefold Discord, so I'd have to look at that one, but I don't know. But they're really cool. If you can see here, I'll try and zoom in, and you can take a look here. Is the back. And then the final set here is the Worm Spat. And those dudes are definitely Nurgle. At least that is my guess, based on the fact that one of them has his insides just spilling out all over the place. Ew. All right, next up we've got the Gits and the Goliaths. Now these are destruction. You've got some of the... lots of goblin stuff here. We've got the Ripper Snarlfangs. They're basically 3 dudes on wolves. You've got some of the goblin guys that have a couple of the little grot dudes. Not grots. Those are squigs. My bad. Squigs up here in the upper corner. That's actually got quite a few characters here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So there's a 9 unit set. I mean, that's pretty much a freaking kill team at that point. We've got this set that has like an ogre and some goblins and a big beast. Kind of reminds me of the one that has the pirates, where you've got like the stab monkey and stuff. You've got the mushroom one with a little flying squig. You know, getting into destruction itself, and if you love goblins, you should be set with that one. The next set here we have is Order, and in the Order set, we've got some more Stormcast Eternals. Now, these are the Zandir's Truthseekers. There's 4 models. One of them is a bird, so it should be very easy to paint. The Zandir's Truthseekers comes in the Stormbringer subscription service. So I already had that set, and they were already built. But you get them again here. And the reason I did that was to get the Shadeborn, which are basically some elf characters that look really, really freaking cool. You also get some more lizards. So we already have the Jaws of Itzil. That came out recently, but now you've actually got access to this one. And then finally, you've got some Iodeath characters, the fish, the fish elves, as I heard someone say the other day. These are really a cool set, and I love the Zandir ones. I'm actually looking forward to rebuilding them because one of my characters, I just could not get them sealed up tight at the top, so there's some seams that really suck. But, yeah. Anyway, this one's a pretty cool set, too. Unfortunately, again, I already had one of them, so this was ultimately because buying them separately costs more because you have to go to the gray market, and the gray market is selling them for more than they are worth, in my opinion. And what is really terrible about that is the fact that, you know, people could be buying these and parting them out and selling them even higher. When I bought my original sets of these to get the other warbands that had been done, I got them on eBay. I'm sorry, not eBay. I got them on Amazon. eBay has them as well, but not for as good a price. And on Amazon, these were selling for $80 a piece, which is a pretty darn good deal. They're a little bit over $100 on the Games Workshop site here in America. And, you know, coming out to $25 a warband is not so bad, but it's even better when you can get them for $20 a warband. So that's that. So anyway, that's all of the warband stuff. And then I've got the expansion Spitewood, which comes with a new board. It's got some new counters. It's got the rules and 2 more warbands. There are a freaking ton of warbands now. So if you count up all of these, you got 16 warbands in these box, another 16. So we got 32, and then 34, 35, 36, 37. And then some one-offs, the Nurgle ones. So there is a ton of options here, and pretty much any kind of character you want to play, you're going to be able to find in this. And decide if you enjoy painting that type of model too. So if you're like really into these Skaven, then you'll know that maybe Skaven is for you, but you better really love it because you're going to be painting a lot of them if you try to make an army of Skaven. And the same is true of pretty much any of these warbands. It's a nice little step into it, but you're not necessarily going to be able to use what you have here to play the big game. Now, the exception to that is the Jaws of Itzil are actually in the Seraphon Combat Patrol that came out. So you would be able to use them. And in fact, that's another place to get that warband if you want them. Now, knowing that and knowing that there is just so much available, it can be a little overwhelming, especially since this is not all there is to this game. There is a ton of card packs, which I'm just going to flash on the screen really quick because I got them right over here. Now, I've been buying all of the things for warbands for a while now. So we've got card packs just out the waz. Just an absolute ton of options to play with these games. I haven't opened these yet because we haven't actually gotten to the point where we're really playing too hardcore. But one of the things about Games Workshop is just FOMO and the gray market. It's not even necessarily that I'm afraid of missing out. It's a fear that eventually I will have wanted that thing, but the only place to get it is on eBay or something, and some maniac is selling it for 6 times what it cost. These generally run around $30 through Games Workshop, so you can get them for a reasonable price, and you're not having to deal with people trying to basically scalp them. So that's kind of where I'm at with Underworlds. I've got pretty much everything there is to do with it, and it's a fairly straightforward game. There's a couple of really cool videos that walk you through how to play it. They got a pretty nifty quick start guide. I wish it was a little bit better. It's right here from Emberguard, and it basically is meant to jump you right into the action and tell you how to play the game. I find it to be a little bit too simplified, and the rules aren't that bad, so it's probably better to just learn how to play the game and go for it. The boards are relatively small, so the action's going to be quick. You only play 3 rounds. All around, I have to say, this is definitely a beginner-level fun game. But this leads me to something else I want to talk about just briefly. I mean, this video is getting a little long. However, I kind of feel like there's a missed opportunity with Games Workshop games in general. It always seems that there are completely different rules for whatever they put out. So Kill Team rules are dramatically different from Warhammer 40K. And while some of the concepts are going to carry through, sort of the keywords, and a few things are going to stick out in your memory, the ultimate truth is that it's different enough that when you learn the 40K rules, you're not going to be applying a whole lot of what you learned from Kill Team. And it just seems like they could just simplify the 40K rules rather than change them dramatically to make it work. And maybe I'm naive, maybe I'm crazy, but it just feels like these should be gateways to get into whatever bigger game they're trying to sell, especially since, like, if I'm playing Age of Sigmar and I'm using Skaven, I'm going to be buying a lot of freaking models. And if I started with Underworlds or Warcry or whatever, then those rules should basically be a stepping stone to get into the big game, not so much just its own thing that I now know and it's useless for when I move into the larger scale products. But that's just me. What do you guys think about that in particular? And what do you think of Underworld? Is this a game you love? Do you think it's ridiculous? I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment. But anyway, this is Robert with Society Case Files, signing off.